Okay, so I'm just tooling around watching videos, and I'm on my last beer from St. Patty's Day, so I thought I would just do a video on how to drink a Guinness. And just so you know, that was pre-opened and I recapped it, but it's a brand new beer. I haven't tasted it, so cheers to you peoples. See how long it's going to take me to actually drink this beer while I'm watching videos. It's a bit warmer than it probably should be, but I'm on a boat and don't have refrigeration right now, so that's why I usually drink six-pack when I haven't drank in like 7 months until last week. I went dry, had a binge of Jameson that was pretty rough after I stepped out of the last position that I had. I did basically, I think 10 days time, I drank every day but 2. So I drank 8 days straight, and I drank a fifth of Jameson every single day. I was drinking these things called leprechauns, which I made a video of yesterday of what the ingredients were. They were Jameson and then Sprite, and you couldn't have 7-Up because Sprite basically is a type of like fairy. So if you use Sprite and Jameson, it was considered a leprechaun. And then if you had mint leaves around, you could muddle the mint leaves like a mojito first and then put it in there, and it would give a little bit of flavor. But I only had one time when I went to a bar when I was drinking, or 2 times when I went to a bar, I had them put the mint in, and it was good. But the mint was kind of like a clover-esque type thing because of, or a 4-leaf clover or shamrock kind of tie up on it. So it was that was definitely optional. And then I was making a couple years before that these drinks called let me stop this. Yes, he does. This guy's got 21,600 subscribers and did a video, and it's got like 2,800 views on how to get 10,000 subscribers. That's what I'm tooling around today. I'm trying to find optional ways to get more subscribers that actually are active on your page. I've done a bunch of different ways, and I've got a good amount, but the percentages are really low. They say it should be basically about 10% of your subscriber base should be actively enjoying your page or commenting, liking, sharing, and viewing your videos. And I'm getting less than that. 5% is still even decent. Mine's even lower than that. So I went a few different routes, and one of which was getting subscriber, like sub for subs, which don't seem to be as active as one would like. So I'm trying to, on this last part, because I want to get to 10,000 so I can get the producer's ability over at YouTube to start using the facilities and getting the there's a lot of perks that you can get. And it's funny because I remember years ago, like 20 years ago, we used to have the access channels, and basically you had to go in and do a producer's thing with them, and then you could get the ability to create content. And I remember when I was up in Anchorage, because I didn't do it down here because it was like everybody and their brother was basically trying to get into the producer's thing and doing content, but I did a few content shows with other people that did it. But when I was up in Anchorage, I created an improv show and cut and edited 16 full episodes of half-hour episodes, which is for like a regular TV series, like a year worth of content, and then ran them, like I ran each episode like 4 weeks and then changed it. But it was a lot of work, and I was only doing the titling, rendering, intro, outro, like with credits, and some sound bites a little bit, but snipping. And it was an improv show, so each half-hour segment That's good English. It's probably the beer talking. Took about 5 hours, so it was about 20% content to 100% work or whatever. So basically, at 5 hours, I would get a half-hour show. So that's 5 hours. No, that's actually 10%. So, and like I said, it was just snipping, and it turned out to be a good format. And I have them now, and the interesting thing is they were the beginning shows of the improv group that's still running up in Anchorage. I call them the Golden Years, and then they've changed their format and style. We were, which was I really like, which is the orange and black was our colors, which ironically were the high school that I was from up there, or would have been from up there. West High was the orange and black color scheme, and it's Halloween. But I have 16 episodes, and then 2, I think, because I got my camera swiped, so I don't know if they took it in the bag or not, but I had 2 full shows that I never edited that I was going to sell basically some DVDs or put content on, and that's what I'm looking into doing now. And I have a couple clips of shows that I did from a while back that are at the end, the tail end. You can check it out. It's like cliches, stunt doubles, anything but, and a large props segment. But I've got a ton of content that I'm going to try to drop off and see how it goes, because you can actually not just monetize your channel, but you can actually do like a pay-per-view type thing on YouTube. So I haven't done it yet, but I've seen it in the Creator Studio. So I'm like, that looks like maybe 20% in. So 2 sips, 20% in. So I got a long ways to go, but this is drinking a Guinness the day after St. Paddy's Day. See how many views I can get with this. People just going, wow, that's how you drink a Guinness? You're nursing it, boy. Hopefully I don't have to take a pee before the end of it. So but this is a Guinness. It was really cool because I've actually been to Ireland. I went there for a wedding in 2005, and it was funny because I was surfing a lot, and I was gonna surf there, but I brought my camera equipment because I didn't have a lot of money. So I basically gave my buddy did the video for it, and didn't do a good job on it. But it wasn't so much the video portion of it; it was the editing later. I had issues with the editing, but it took a long time for him to get it, or view it. Anyways, so I'm in Ireland, and I'm in Dublin, and I'm checking out. I found a surf shop or a sports shop that had a surfboard, and it was like 760 euros, which is probably around $1,000 to get a surfboard. And I was like, but I would have brought one of mine. Go on there just to say I did it, but it was like you got to bring the wetsuit, the hoodie, because the water's cold there. But how cool would that have been to say that basically I've surfed Ireland, the west side. I was over at Donegal surfing Ireland, but the cool thing was Dublin is a very beautiful city, very clean, and the people were fairly nice inside the city, and because Americans aren't well liked over in Europe in a lot of places, which I didn't find out until I went to Ireland, but it was right outside the train station. You go, and if anybody has been to a regular like transit where you go down and you basically get change, or you put your bill in and you get a ticket, and it gives you change or whatnot, that's exactly like BART is a perfect example. This was like a BART train that you go in, and it paid like $20 or 20 euros maybe, I'm not sure exactly which, to take this train station or train 2 hours south of Dublin in Kilkenny, right? But I had to wait like an hour for the next train to go, so I went and backtracked and got something to eat at a pub right around the corner. And the Guinness factory is right there outside the train station. And it looked to me, if you remember the old um, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, when they go to meet him and he comes out in the cane and there's this huge factory with gates. And that's what the Guinness factory looked like to me. It looked like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from the Gene... I can't even think of his name. I want to say Gene Simmons, but it's not Gene Simmons. Gene Wilder. Whew! Man, my brain's got, it's got to be the beers. But that's what it looked like to me. It was like this cool, I don't know, to me it was just kind of neat. And then when I went to Kilkenny is this tiny, reminded me of North Beach actually, but with a little more stone. Like a very European town, but the streets were narrower and a lot more cobblestone type stuff. But they have a castle there called Butler Castle, and we went and took a tour of it, and it was beautiful. It had all this old artwork and all the stone inlay and everything on the floors. Like it was like Italian marble, and I don't know, it was just really, really beautiful. But it's this old castle that basically is right around the town. And then I want to say Murphy Stout is where, or Murphy's Beer is from there, but it might just be Kilkenny. But they have a brewery right in Kilkenny, and we were drinking stout, and it's pretty good. It's not quite as good as Guinness, but it's good. And then we had the wedding at this old church, and we're talking like from the 1400s old. And right next to it, I was drinking with an Irish buddy of mine and his girlfriend. And so we go into the church, and there was a bar. I don't know how we found it because he was driving. So I was in the back, and I was basically the whole week I was drunk. And I'm talking like just Jameson and Guinness and this Murphy Stout, or the stout that was from Kilkenny Stout. And just in pubs and, you know, old friends from North Beach, which are old drinking buddies, and doing these turnabouts and just like, wow. But we found this old bar, and it was basically like just these neighborhood guys. Like one of the guys in there was this old Irish guy, probably in his 70s, wearing a tweed coat, you know, like a tweed, not dinner jacket, but like a tweed, you know, jacket, like dress jacket, and rubber boots. Like he was basically a sheep farmer, and he's in there, and he's just like, we're talking to him, and I'm talking, the brogue was so thick that it was just like, he goes, oh yeah, we're down here, and you know, this guy come up to me, and it's like, I said, oh, what and he looked at me and went, you know, and everybody started laughing, and I laughed, and my buddy, like after everybody kind of to move away, my buddy goes, what did he say? And I was like, I don't know, but it was funny. That's the kind of stuff we were dealing with, and the bartender was hilarious. I had him on video give some words of advice or some accolades to my buddy and his wife getting married, because my buddy is Jewish, from New York, I think. He definitely lived in New York, but I know him from San Francisco. But he met his fiance, who later became his wife, Val, in North Beach, but she was from Ireland. She was from Kilkenny. So that's why we were going to Kilkenny to do the wedding and stuff, it was just a beautiful wedding. And they were staying in a castle, which was just a turret left over, and then we had a tent for the wedding. So everybody was in there drinking, and we literally tapped out the booze. We tapped out like 7 kegs of Guinness and whatever Jameson was around, but it was a fun time. And then I was supposed to go down, my family name O'Driscoll, which they dropped the O during the potato famine, or when they came over here from the potato famine, is from County Cork, and they actually have an O'Driscoll Castle there. And the irony is, I have a friend I grew up with, last name Sullivan, and O'Sullivan. They dropped it, probably same thing, but the O'Sullivans and the O'Driscolls fought together to save Driscoll Castle back in, you know, like the 1700 BC or not 1700 BC, 700 BC or something like that.